On a snowy evening in Lynchburg, we greet you inside the Vine Center, where the temperature is always 70 degrees, and we've got pleasant weather here tonight. It's the Liberty Flames taking on the Radford Highlanders in Big South Men's Hoops. Glad to have you along with us. My name is Nick Pierce alongside Clement Townsend as always, and a couple of old rivals meeting here tonight in Lynchburg. The Liberty Flames come in trying to stop a 3-game skid. The Radford Highlanders on the other side, red hot. They have won 6 straight on the road in Big South Conference play. But again, Clement, throw the records aside here. These are a couple of teams with a lot to play for coming into tonight, and 2 teams that have met plenty of times since the 70s.
That's right. These 2 teams have a long history, and in this important game for Radford, with the win tonight, they would clinch the number 5 spot and a bye in the first round of the Big South tournament next week. That's huge because you don't have to win 4 straight games. You only have to win 3 straight games. For Liberty, credit to the Flames. It's been a rough season, but these guys continue to try to get better and improve each game.
First meeting between these 2 teams, January 1975. The faces have changed through the years, and to introduce you to a couple of tonight's Dynamite players that will be taking part in this one, let's send it upstairs to Rhett McGibbon and the rest of the guys.
Hey, thanks, Nick. With me, as always, Matt Hildebrand and Paul Nazigan. And, Matt, when you take a look at Radford, Javante Green, you say this guy is the real deal.
Yeah, Javante is a standout power forward who can shoot the 17-foot jumper. He's a beast on the glass, and watch out, he will dunk on you. Javante and Andrew Smith may have a meeting above the rim tonight. May the best man win.
We'll have to see. We'll have to see. Now, as we take a look at the Flames, a player that they need to be really good is Ryan Kemwright. He's probably got the best nickname on the team. I hear it's Kemwright the Frog. So, yeah.
Well, I know I've heard the Kamikaze Kid. He's known to just throw his body around for whatever the team needs. But, yeah, keep an eye for Ryan coming off the bench tonight. When he does, he's looking to score, and the Flames are going to need that from him. When he heats up from beyond 3, he can really add some scoring punch. Look for him to get hot tonight for Liberty.
Hopefully he heats up in the furnace tonight. With more on tonight's game, let's send it down to Lindsay.
Thanks, Rat. You know, I caught up with a few of the players this week, and I asked them about that motivation you were talking about, Clement, and I said, where did that come from? They said it all stemmed from boot camp this summer, where they realized this team has a lot of talent. They said we've gone through more challenges than we thought we would, but those challenges have united us. The way we see it, other teams have peaked. Now's our time to peak. We're united. We're ready to go.
All right, thank you, Lindsay. And now for tonight's Keys to Victory presented by The View. Clement, let's first take a look at the Radford Highlanders, a team that likes to get up and down the floor.
You said it, Nick. They want to get out and run on steals. They want to push the ball. Also on long rebounds, they want to push the pace. For Liberty, it's all about shot selection, not taking the first shot, but getting the best available shot. One note, in the first meeting against Radford, Liberty scored 76 points. That's the most they've scored in conference all season. That is something to build on.
It's Liberty and Radford. In-state conference rivals collide next on the Liberty Flames Sports Network. This presentation of Liberty Flames basketball on LFSN is brought to you by Lynchburg Nissan, part of the Mabry Automotive Group. Carter Bank and Trust, the home of lifetime free checking. By Ruck and Pratt Senior Living Communities, experience your best quality of life. And by Moore's Electrical and Mechanical, more than meeting your expectations, we exceed them. And The View, college life off campus.
I chose Liberty because I've heard about it a lot growing up. Both of my parents went there, a lot of my other aunts and uncles and cousins, and I always dreamed of going here, so I'm here today and I'm so excited.
I chose Liberty because I was actually watching TV and me and my dad were flicking through channels and we happened to stop through and see you guys worshiping, and then I found out that you guys were a college, and I also saw you guys on March Madness, but I got interested when I found out that you were a Christian university. So I came down and I wanted to see really what it was like, because I would love to be around people who serve the same God that I serve.
Liberty's been a great experience for our family. We have 2 sons here now. We love the Christian worldview that's taught at the college. It's something you can't find anywhere else. Liberty's that place to get a higher education that I think will last longer than just 4 years.
Liberty is an incredible place where fathers, mothers, and those of you who are pastors or leaders in ministry, you can have great confidence that your children are going to a place where they can be free to be themselves, yet they'll be in a safe environment. And that's why I like Liberty. It's a great university.
Welcome back inside the Vine Center. Liberty and Radford getting set to do battle for the 66th time in this all-time series as we take a look at the starting lineups here. Presented by Ruck & Pratt Senior Living Communities. R.J. Price gets the nod at the 1 tonight. Yahya Anderson at the 2. Then it's Conference Player of the Year candidate Javonte Green, Kyle Noreen and at the forward spots, and then Brandon Holcomb is at the 5 for the Highlanders, who come in with a record of 20-9. For the Flames, they enter at 7-22. Jordan Dimbley will run the point tonight. Ryan Kemwright's at the 2. Theo Johnson at the 3. The post players, Drew Smith and James Johnson. Flames 1-15 in conference play. The Highlanders 11-5. Radford with a victory tonight can clinch the 5 seed, or a top 5 seed rather, in the conference championships next week. Mike Jones, 4th season head coach of the Highlanders. They have improved steadily every year under the former VCU assistant who has been to the Final Four with the Rams, also former assistant at Georgia and a couple of other stops as well. On the other side, the Flames coached by Dale Layer. He's in the middle of that huddle right there, getting his team ready to go. In his 6th season with the Flames, got them to the NCAA tournament a couple of seasons ago and hoping to catch lightning in a bottle once again, Clement.
That's right, the Big South Tournament coming up next week, Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. We talked about it in the Open. Radford, as you mentioned, trying to get one of those top 5 seeds. Coach Mike Jones said earlier in the week that gives the players a chance to get all the schoolwork out of the way, and you get an extra day of rest. And when you go down there to win the tournament, if you have to play on the first day in the first round, you have to win 4 straight games. But anytime you can take one of those away, that makes your path to the championship just a little easier.
Radford, an 8-point win over the Flames earlier this season. Ball tipped and controlled by the Highlanders. Here we go. Radford wearing the reds tonight, Liberty in the whites. R.J. Price has run the point very well. Yahya Anderson at the 2. He lit the Flames up the last time up. Now it's Kyle Noreen with it. Radford averaging 73 points per game. That's 4th best in the conference. The Flames giving up 68%. And there's an early bucket for the Highlanders.
Great job by Javonte Green. Great post position down low. Andrew Smith tried to front him. The pass went over the top, and that led to an easy layup by Green.
So here come the Flames in their first possession. They've cut back on the turnovers of late. Theo Johnson left lane, won't go. Drew Smith there to clean it up.
Drew Smith with the offensive rebound and the putback. Such a high energy player. This guy very active around the rim. Smith has been fantastic in recent games.
Tied at 2 as Javonte Green launches from up top and missed everything. Might have nicked the corner of the rim, but good enough to get a little bit of the air ball chant here.
Once again, take a look at the position there. Andrew Smith on the top side. Green recognized it, and Radford got the bucket. And right here, it was Andrew Smith, right place at the right time for the rebound and the putback.
There is Drew Smith, the senior from Pompano Beach. Gets out to Theo Johnson now, who draws a double team. Flames have lost 3 straight coming into tonight. Jordan Dimbley making the start at the point guard position, driving inside, missed the layup. Rebound taken, Javonte Green, the top rebounder for the Highlanders. Noreen with it, driving. Missed the runner, and Drew Smith gets the rebound. Tied at 2 as Kemwright has it deflect off of his hand, or last touch by the Highlanders, they say. And it will be Liberty basketball. Flames 30-35 all time against the Highlanders. First meeting between these two teams this year. Liberty 25 of 27 at the free throw line. They outshot Radford 51% to 44, but had 22 turnovers.
Tough to win ball games like that, Nick, when you commit 22 turnovers. That's one of the things that Andrew Smith mentioned when we spoke with him yesterday. taking care of the basketball, limiting their turnovers. That's going to be key.
James Johnson with the tomahawk jam.
That's something we haven't seen from James all year, the aggressiveness, attacking the rim and throwing it down. What a huge throwdown by James Johnson.
A miss from 3 by Anderson on the other end. That got the crowd going a little bit, got the Flames bench going as well as Liberty leads by 2.
Johnson is a guy who was reinserted into the starting lineup the last game against Gardner-Webb. There he is in the post.
Had it knocked away by Holcomb. It'll stay with the Liberty Flames as we take another look at JJ taking flight.
Main Street just opened up for James Johnson, and he takes advantage, throwing it down for his first bucket of the game. James was a guy who started a lot early on, started the first 19 games, and as I mentioned, making his second straight start after getting the start last contest against Gardner-Webb.
Drew Smith couldn't get it to fall. Here come the Highlanders now, but there's Drew with a deflection. Radford gets it back. James Johnson, a guy with a lot of ability. He was a 5-star recruit coming out of high school, started out at Virginia before lining up at San Diego State. Now here as Price launches and misses. Ball tipped out and controlled by the Highlanders.
Those 50-50 balls key in every game. Loose balls like that, the Flames would like to get that to go their way as the referee called the travel on Price.
It's a turnover for Radford here early on. Their first of the ball game for either side. Liberty leading by 2 here, almost, or a little more than 3 minutes gone by. Start to the game for the Flames.
I was just going to mention that getting off to a good start is key for Liberty. You mentioned how Radford averages about 73 points per game. Liberty averaging just about 63 points per game. So the Flames don't score in bunches. So trying to keep the game close early on, that's their best chance at victory.
Well, in practice yesterday, Coach Dale Ayer was preaching good shots, as you talked about in the early going here tonight. Don't take a good shot. Take a little extra time to find a great shot, as Dembley almost had it taken away. And that's going to be key to keeping Radford out of its transition game as Johnson took too many steps. Theo Johnson with a turnover, the first of the night for the Flames. And it'll be Radford basketball.
Early on, nice movement by Radford away from the ball. When you just look at the cuts and when you look at the way the guys move, their offense really looks fluid so far.
Holcomb, one-on-one with Johnson, went up strong, couldn't get it to fall. And the Highlanders come away with a rebound. Price. That's a turnover.
Looks like that's going to be a offensive foul, moving screen on Brandon Holcomb on that play.
So with that, we're a little more than 4 minutes in. We've got our first media timeout, and Liberty has a 2-point lead. Flames 4, Highlanders 2. Two rivals doing battle here tonight in the Vine Center.
Be free to be you. The freedom to drive what you want to drive, wear what you want to wear, and bank where you want to bank. At Carter Bank & Trust, you'll find the freedom to bank the way you like. Personal service with a smile, face-to-face from people that know you. And with services like our no-fee debit card, lifetime free checking, and over 100 convenient locations, you're free to bank your way. Carter Bank & Trust, the freedom to be you.
Now this is living life to the fullest.
Liberty by 2 over Radford early on here in the Vine Center tonight. Nick Pierce, Clement Townsend with you. Lindsey Keith roaming the sidelines here tonight. And former Flame Joel Vanderpool in the house.
His career is continuing. He now plays for the Lynchburg Titans here in Lynchburg, Virginia. So Vanderpool still playing a little hoops.
Also Casey Roberts there with him. Flames will inbound it. Ethan Layer into the ball game along with David Ando out of the timeout. Radford with a couple of substitutions as well, as they have brought Cameron Jones off the bench. Flames by 2. Radford has not scored in nearly 4 minutes as Drew Smith drives inside. That's going to be an offensive foul.
Great job by Carruthers right there. Had position in the lane. Andrew Smith with a nice cut. Ethan Lair hit him with the great pass, but Carruthers was right there waiting. That was an easy call for the referee.
Carruthers was a little bit hobbled after that. He might have get tied up with Smith going to the floor. RJ Price jumper is good. That'll tie the game up at 4 and snaps the 4-minute scoring drought for the Highlanders. Radford playing very well on the road. We mentioned in the open 6 straight conference road wins. Ethan Layer will try a triple here and hit. Ethan Layer with his 28th made three-pointer of the year.
Ethan, one of the better three-point shooters on the team, shooting 40% from downtown. Nailed some key threes against Presbyterian. He had 12 in that one. As we take another look, if Ethan can get hot, that certainly bodes well for the Flames. He can really extend the defense with his shooting from downtown. Ethan just got a good look at that one, and anytime he gets a good look like that, you can expect the coach's son to knock it down.
Meanwhile, the Highlanders threw it away on the other end. Now it's Liberty basketball here. Flames ahead by 3. Highlanders are making the Flames. Here's Drew Smith driving inside and had it knocked away. Drew Smith had thoughts of rocking the rim on his mind.
He did, and I love the look by Jordan Dimbley as he's driving to the rack. He sees it cutting Andrew Smith. Drew Smith got the shot blocked. He was fouled, but normally when Smith is that close to the bucket, he throws those down, but Smith will head to the line for 2. Nice look, though, by the freshman from Minnesota, Dimbley. Just making his 8th straight start at the PG position. As we see Joe Reddick check in, of course, Reddick started at the PG position for most of the year. Missed 12 games with a fractured foot, and in that time, the freshman from Minnesota, Dimbley, has filled in admirably. Last game against Gardner-Webb, Dimbley had a career-high 10 points.
Drew Smith, 2 of 2 on the free throw line there, and you mentioned Dimbley filling in admirably. The Flames have cut back on their turnovers in his presence. His 7 starts, 4 fewer turnovers per game than the games before that. There's a 3 from Jones. It was missed, and we got a foul coming up here on the floor. And let's send it over to Lindsey Keith while we've got a minute.
Well, thanks, guys. We just saw Joe Reddick come into the game. This is his 2nd game back after he'd been out for 12 games due to a foot injury. I caught up with Joe at practice yesterday, and he said he's so thrilled to be back, knock off some of this rust. But he said one of the toughest things has been learning all the new plays, but the team has been extremely patient with him, especially Jordan Dimbley, the guy who's filled in for him. He said Jordan stays after practice, making sure he's comfortable with everything. You know, the team is hoping he knocks off all that rust by next week.
Thank you, Lindsey. And an illegal screen here on Radford. We'll turn it back over to the Liberty Flames. There is Reddick.
Interesting point to add. Dimbley, the true freshman. Joe Reddick, the junior college transfer, trying to pick up some pointers from the freshman because of the new plays that they put in while Reddick was out injured.
Joe saying yesterday, glad to be back on the floor with my brothers. AC Reed into the ball game now for the Flames. Here is Reddick. Tried to kick it out, and that ball stolen away by Javante Green. Here come the Highlanders. What they do so well, and Javante Green lays it in off the window.
In the open, we talked about Radford wanting to get out in transition. That was a turnover by Reddick. Javante Green goes back the other way for the easy deuce. So those guys really turned their defense into offense. That's one of the strengths of the Highlanders.
Green has 4 of Radford's 6 points so far. What has been a defensive battle here early on. Drew Smith has a one-on-one battle here. Hook shot won't go, too strong. Green the rebound. Jones brings it up for Radford, driving in on lead now. Flames leading it here by 3. Almost 7 minutes in. Is Dyer with the ball, and now a 3 from Price won't go. Rebound pulled down by Smith. Radford from 3, just 0 for 3 to start this game. Highlanders in the first meeting with the Flames hit 13 triples. Here comes Ando, driving in, wild shot off the mark. Smith the offensive rebound. Reddick will step inside the arc and pull it. Can't get it to go. Smith gets it back, and the Flames on the third opportunity get the shot to fall.
Great job on the offensive glass by Andrew Smith. Smith leads the team in rebounds, 7 rebounds per game. As we take another look, Joe Reddick with the miss. Andrew Smith puts it in. Smith now with 6 on the afternoon. Smith great on the offensive glass. 5th in the conference in rebounds overall, 7, but he's averaging about 2.5 offensive rebounds per game.
8th in offensive rebounding as well, so one of the better ones in the league, no doubt. He's to the bench now. James Johnson back in for Liberty. Flames ahead by 5. Yahya Anderson one-on-one with Theo Johnson now. Kicks up top to Brown. Keon Brown will pull the trigger, won't go. Theo Johnson with a tough rebound.
Crowded paint. Theo Johnson went in amongst those guys and grabbed the rebound aggressively.
Reddick driving, and the floater will go for Joe Reddick. And a timeout taken by Mike Jones, who has seen enough.
Coach Dale Lair said Reddick is only about 82% after that foot injury, but he looks to be improving after he drives to the lane. That's one of the things that Liberty has missed. Guys that can create their own shot. Reddick is one of those players. He can really get into the teeth of the defense. Took the little screen from Ando there and drove to the bucket. So Reddick still trying to get his wind back, still trying to get his groove back, and that will bode well for Liberty as they head into the Big South tournament. Reddick says one of the good things is he's coming back with a couple of games at home, so he has a chance to mesh with his teammates at the Vine Center.
Well, we got a minute here. I want to remind you today's broadcast is the property of the Liberty Flames Sports Network and LFSN. Any duplication, reproduction, or retransmission of tonight's game without the express written permission of LFSN is strictly prohibited. And to your point, Clement, of missing Joe Reddick, when he went out, he was leading the team in steals and assists. When he came back, he was still leading the team in steals and assists.
He's
missed
a key
12
guy.
games.
Yeah, he's a key guy for sure in terms of distribution. And once again, when you talk about steals, that kind of can get your offense going when you can get out in transition after a steal.
Too much air for Javonte Green as David Ando takes it away. Take a look at the shooting percentage so far. Liberty well ahead of the Highlanders there. AC Reed draws a double team. Now it's Ando. Got a wide open Theo Johnson on this side. Not now. Here's Reddick driving baseline. Kicks out to Ando. Driving in. Layup good. Look at the court vision there from Joe Reddick.
And when you talk about shot selection, that is a perfect example of what we mean. Ando, a great mid-range shooter, but instead drove to the rim for the layup, not taking the first shot, but getting the best shot.
And now the Highlanders take it back, and Liberty with a trap right here in front of us. Price able to get it away, though. Anderson driving on Ando. Missed the layup. James Johnson the rebound. The Highlanders ice cold right now. Reed, pull-up jumper inside the arc. It will go. And the Flames have built an 11-point lead.
6-0 run by Liberty to give them that 11-point lead, make that an 8-0 run. And it's been quite a drought for the Highlanders.
One for their last 7 down the floor. Going to whistle and a foul here. And with that, that's going to take us to the under-12 timeout. Liberty on a run. The Flames by 11 in the Vine Center.
Hi, I'm Jeff Gordon. And this is Test Drive 2.
No way this is happening. This can't not be happening.
I'm going to be playing the cab driver.
What is he talking about? What did he just say?
No, get out of the cab. We can put the windows down. No, sir. Please.
I can't go back, man.
Flames lead it by 11, 10:36 to go first half as we take another look at this Joe Reddick find here on the baseline.
Joe Reddick with the great job of drawing the defense and kicking it back to David Ando. That's superb court vision by Reddick. And Ando doesn't settle for the jumper, but goes in for the layup.
Time now for a Carter Bank & Trust game at a glance. Radford ice cold from downtown. Ice cold overall, Clement. They've only made 3 shots so far.
Yeah, and Liberty, on the other hand, 7 out of 13, 54%. 3-point field goals. Liberty 1 out of 1 with the layer triple. Rebounds in Liberty's favor.
Highlanders 0 for their last 4, 2 for their last 13 from the field. We're going to whistle here off the inbounds. And the Highlanders are going to inbound it. The foul was against Liberty on Evan Maxwell. Team's 4th of the half. Noreen gives to Anderson. Driving and scoring. Yaya Anderson lays it in off of the window. He's averaging 9 on the season.
Yaya is a guy who had a big game the first time these two teams met. He hit 5 triples, had 17 points.
Drew Smith on the alley-oop.
Andrew Smith showing what he can do playing above the rim. He's good for one of those every game. He's a high flyer. As I like to say, the man has pogo sticks for legs.
My goodness. Flames continue to lead by double figures.
This is the kind of start that you're looking for if you're Liberty, getting out to a great lead, playing with so much
And
energy
a steal.
as the Flames go back the other way.
Johnson, baseline, and a foul. As you said, the energy here. Flames taking it to the basket, taking it back down the floor as we take another look here at the slam.
Joe Reddick throwing it up, Andrew Smith throwing it down. How about the senior almost bumping his head on the clouds, two-hand style. That got the crowd fired up.
An 11-point Liberty lead. Here's Theo Johnson to the line. First one good. Theo Johnson on the season, 72% at the free throw stripe as Dale Layer goes into the bench.
You really have to credit the coaching staff and all the players, though, Nick, for just staying motivated. When we talked to them yesterday, it's been a tough season, but these guys have found something within themselves to try to keep improving. They haven't shut it down. Coach Lair said with the season they've had, you wouldn't blame them if they've shut it down, but they haven't done that in the least bit.
Jones, jumper is good. Cameron Jones, the junior out of Roanoke, makes it a 10-point game.
Jones is a spark plug off the bench. He's a guy who can create his own shot. Solid shooter, as was evident on that possession.
Flames moving around. Drew Smith down low. Missed the layup. Maybe had it partially blocked and taken away now by Lucas Dyer. Yeah, Dale Lair said the other day that the Flames maybe had more reasons than about 349 other teams in the country to shut it down, but they have not gone through the motions one bit as another miss from Radford gives it back to Liberty. And now Dimbley had it deflected, they say, off of R.J. Price. It'll be Flames ball.
Coach Lair says he's just proud of his team for the character they've shown through all the adversity. Here's R.J. Price getting his hand on the ball right there to knock it away. Liberty retains possession, though.
And a quick look inside for Theo Johnson under the basket. Flames clicking on all cylinders here.
This is something we haven't seen that much this season from Liberty, but they seem to be in a groove.
Radford really has not been able to get out in transition here like they are used to doing. There's R.J. Price taking it inside and scoring, though. Flames want to force them into more of a half-court situation. Dembley in some trouble, gives it ahead to Kimwright. Now Johnson attacking, he gets fouled. And Theo Johnson will go back to the free throw line. Let's take another look at this inbound find here with Theo underneath.
Dembley, nice pass to Theo. Yaya Anderson tried to get there, but Theo was just too much. And again, on this possession, Theo attacking the rim, and he's going to head to the line. Theo, a solid free throw shooter, Nick, 72% from the line.
1 for 2 on his last trip. And he buries the first one here to put Liberty back in front by 11. Into the ball game for the Highlanders. Keon Brown checking back in. Also, we'll see Taj Owens for the first time tonight, the junior out of Chesapeake. Johnson at the line. Junior from Sacramento. It's the second one. Liberty by 12 now. We tick down to the 8-minute mark. Radford's won the last 3 in the series. Here's Anderson driving in and scoring over top of Drew Smith.
Anderson just continuing to play well. You know, in their last game against UNC Asheville, Anderson had a solid contest, 22 points.
And a couple of guys get tangled up underneath. That's James Johnson and Keon Brown. And this one looks like it's going to be on Radford. With that, we will head to break. Liberty doing it all right now. Flames lead it by 10.
Come and find your home with me. Your roots will grow down deep. Oh, you'll find me. Oh, home indeed. Find your heart and find your song. Home is where your heart belongs. Oh, you'll find
Moore's, your community choice for electrical and mechanical services.
This rookie's been waiting for his chance to shine, and it's finally here. Today, he's buying his first car.
Yeah, you know, it's really great to see his family here to support him.
Wow, this trade is really going to help him out. Lynchburg Nissan assists, and he takes the team to victory.
Today was a milestone. What was going through your head?
I just want to thank my parents for the support. And without Lynchburg Nissan, none of this would have been possible.
What a great start to what looks to be a long and successful career.
Liberty by 10. 7:48 to go in the first half. Nick and Clement with you in the Vine Center here tonight. Flames off to a red-hot start here, Clement. They've led by as many as 12 in the first half.
Playing with the lead, that just bodes well for Liberty. They fell behind 2-0, but ever since then, they've had the lead. Andrew Smith has played a big role in that. Started things off with a tip-in. He's been active on the offensive glass. Smith so far in this ball game, Andrew, that is, with 8 points to lead Liberty. So we talked about it before, how they don't score points in bunches. And when you can play with the lead, that just gives you confidence. That just gives you energy. A lot of times when you're behind, it's such an uphill climb to get back in the game. But you can play a lot freer and more excited with energy when you have the lead.
Here's Endo off the inbounds. With a miss, Theo Johnson, the offensive rebound. Flames have controlled the glass here tonight. Shot off the mark. Rebound taken by Radford this time. Keon Brown down with it. come the Highlanders now trailing by 10. Cameron Jones, too strong. Smith the rebound. One and done for Radford. Dembley through traffic. Johnson, baseline. Tough shot. It'll go, and the foul. Theo Johnson attacking like a madman tonight.
Liberty is so aggressive tonight. A lot of things that they've done have been going to the basket. Look at Theo right there. Pump fake, drive to the rack, basket, and one. You want to get things going to the basket. Liberty has had droughts this season when they've settled for outside shots, but it appears that Coach Lair has really gotten to his team. We want to go to the basket. We want to take high percentage shots. Liberty has done that tonight, and that's a big reason why they've been successful.
Joe Reddick back into the ball game for Liberty. Dembley to the bench as Theo Johnson completes the three-point play. Give Johnson now 8 points on the night. Liberty leading 27-14. And this is really mimicking what Dale Lair preached in practice yesterday. He wanted the Flames to attack, go strong to the rim. Javante Green with a jumper, that will go.
Nice look from the elbow by Javante Green. He's been pretty quiet here so far, but you certainly don't want to get the first team preseason Big South player on track.
Reddick backing his man down near the three-point line. It's to Ethan Lair. Flames with the lead here by 11. Ando goes up after the pump fake. Can't get it to go. Javante Green with a rebound. Not a great possession that time. Here comes Jones driving in past Ethan Lair. Missed a shot. Green missed a dunk. And a foul coming up. That's going to be on Drew Smith.
That's tough, though. Javante Green came flying in, jumping over the back of everyone as we take another look. Jones with the missed shot there. Oh, okay, that was the push in the back. Clear push in the back by Andrew Smith as he pushed Dyer out of the way. I missed that on the first look, but it was clear on the second replay.
Green to the free throw line. And the first one is no good. Radford is actually not a great free throw shooting team. They're 5th in the league, 70%. You look up and down here, Javante Green, 72% on the season. RJ Price, their point guard, just 67%. They're okay, but they're not great. Second one will go. And it's a 10-point ball game now with 6:20 to go in the half. Flames get it into Ando. I'm going to break some pressure here. Shouldn't surprise anyone that Radford likes to pressure the basketball with Mike Jones's coaching ties to VCU.
The thing that Liberty has done, though, Nick, they've made shots. And a lot of times it's hard to pressure off of a made shot. So Liberty has done a great job of executing on the offensive end and not allowing Radford to set up the pressure.
Nearly a turnover there, 7 to shoot it. Theo Johnson will give to James Johnson, 4, down to 3. Johnson spinning inside, had it blocked, gets it back and scores.
How about James Johnson sticking with it, Nick? First shot didn't go off the side of the backboard.
And now a turnover. Reddick ahead to Theo Johnson. He'll take it in, missed the dunk, but a foul on Lucas Dyer.
I almost got out of my seat. Lucas Dyer stands 6 feet 8 inches tall. And did you see the elevation from Theo on that play? If that dunk would have gone down, this place would have exploded. Let's take another look. Oh my goodness. Oh, this is James Johnson here missing the first attempt and getting the second attempt to go. But if we can get another look at that shot from Theo Johnson, the elevation was ridiculous.
Theo Johnson missing the front end of the free throw.
You know, a lot
Johnson
of times
going fearlessly to the rack.
We think of Andrew Smith playing above the rim, but Theo shows some serious hops on that one, Nick.
Missed both free throws, though, unfortunately for him. A little more than 5 minutes left. Liberty leading by 12. Javante Green working on James Johnson, drives by him, and now James Johnson's going to draw the foul. Let's see Theo Johnson again here take flight.
This is special, Nick. This is special. My goodness. Just
quick
going
off the floor.
Woo, just going to the rack with abandonment, just a pure aggression.
Green, floater off the inbound will go, and it's a 10-point game. Liberty has led by double digits here much of this first half, but they cannot seem to pull away.
Largest lead for the Flames, 13. How will they close out this half, Nick? The first 15 minutes, as you mentioned, double digits. Can they take a double-digit lead into the locker room? That would be huge if the Flames can do so.
Reddick in the paint, forces one up. Not a great shot there, and Price gets the rebound.
Bad possession by Liberty on that one. Reddick just pounded the ball into the ground and
Cameron
took a terrible
Jones
shot.
from 3, knocks it down, and it's a 7-point game, and Dale Lair wants a timeout.
We talk about shot selection, and that possession down there, that's not a great shot by Joe Reddick. Didn't get Liberty into the offense. Here's Radford on the other end. Cameron Jones spotting up from downtown and knocking it in. This guy's shooting 45% from deep. Jones, the junior from Roanoke, string music.
And Radford's starting to come around here. They're 5 of their last 7 from the field now. Liberty's starting to get a little sloppier on their end. Can't put this thing on cruise control here. There's a long way to go.
Absolutely, and I'm sure in the huddle, Coach Lairs tell them, hey guys, we played a solid first half. Let's make sure that we take good shots. Let's go into the locker room with a double-digit lead. I'm sure he was preaching execution, execution, execution in that huddle.
Radford with a shooting percentage now up to 42%. Highlanders led in scoring by Javonte Green with 9, followed by Cameron Jones with 5.
Javonte Green, I would say he's had a quiet 9 points, Nick.
He has. Had a couple early in the ballgame, a couple of buckets early that people kind of forgot about after that run by Liberty. And now Theo Johnson had it poked, but a foul. Going to be charged here on the Highlanders.
That's going to be on Rashawn Davis on the reach-in. Coach Mike Jones didn't agree with the foul, but I don't know how he could not agree with the foul. Watch Rashawn Davis right there. He hit Theo Johnson on the wrist. That was not a clean strip. No reason to complain right there, but of course, Coach Mike Jones, he's going to stick up for his players. That's what coaches do.
So what the good ones do. Theo Johnson. Front end is good. Let's send it over to Lindsey Keith now who has more on Mike Jones.
Thanks, guys. I was just listening in the huddle with Coach Mike Jones, and he's telling his guys, pressure, 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 pressure. I think where we see this foul coming from, and he was fired up when he saw that, proud of his guys. He said, just stick in there. We got it. Keep on going.
All right, thank you, Lindsey. Flames will get it back here. After that was deflected off of a Highlander, I believe it was Dyer. So Reddick from the baseline now into AC Reed, who's been shooting it well of late. 7 of his last 14 from 3 coming into tonight.
50%, Nick, 50% over the last 3 games from downtown. He has had the stroke going.
Here's Theo Johnson now back around to Reed. Who will pull up just inside the arc, left it short. Cameron Jones the rebound. And AC Reed just had to go through so much early on with that broken nose, playing with a mask as Green launches a 3 in and out. Jones the rebound, puts up, won't go, and Reed comes down with it for Liberty.
But you mentioned Reed. It's tough being a true freshman, making the transition from high school to Division I ball. A lot of times you hit the wall, and then AC had the broken nose, missed 3 games with a broken nose. Coach Lair says that really kind of stopped his momentum.
Theo Johnson looking for someone to come get this basketball, and it's Joe Reddick. 11 to shoot now. Reddick out to Ando with 6. Ando driving, and that's an offensive foul on David Ando. It'll be Radford basketball here after the timeout, and the Highlanders trying to make a charge here. It's an 8-point game inside the Vine Center. Javonte Green leading the way for the Highlanders. Back with more in a moment.
How did I win that new account? I started by making myself at home while I checked in with the office. And after grabbing breakfast, I got some last-minute advice from my boss. That made all the difference.
Great endings begin here. That's why at Choice Hotels, we give you free internet, free breakfast, and right now when you take 2 separate trips, you earn 1 night free. Book now at choicehotels.com.
Come and experience the life-changing spiritual environment at Liberty University. At Convocation, you'll have the opportunity to hear from speakers like Lecrae, Francis Chan, Bethany Hamilton, and Jeff Bethke. Or come out to Campus Church every Wednesday night to worship the Lord and be encouraged in your faith. At Liberty, students often have the opportunity to be personally discipled by their professors, as well as meet weekly for prayer groups, where students study the Bible with their peers and spend time in prayer. Engage your world, both locally and internationally. Spend your Saturday mornings playing with children and telling them about Jesus, or travel overseas to places like Europe and India on short-term trips and internships. So whatever you're passionate about, there's a place for you to reach out and grow in your faith at Liberty University.
3:21 to go in the half. Liberty leads Radford by 8 as we take a look at tonight's Carter Bank and Trust game at a glance.
Liberty still doing a great job from the field, 46%, 11 out of 24 from downtown. Liberty 1 out of 1, Radford 1 out of 7. Rebounds about even. Liberty with the 6-1 advantage in second chance points.
Flames have kind of cooled off a little bit from the field, though. Just 2 for their last 8, 1 for their last 5. Come out of the huddle here. The last foul on David Ando.
Jordan Dimbley
basketball
is a guy who's been on the bench for quite a while. The freshman got the start in the ball game. You know, Coach Laird said he wasn't sure how many minutes he was going to play. Joe Reddick in his first game back last week against Gardner-Webb. Reddick played 14 minutes. Coach Laird says it's going to be a day-to-day thing, game to game, how many minutes Reddick will play.
Reddick with a deflection there. And Alan York with quick hands down on radio. Highlanders will inbound it. And the good news is, though, Reddick said that he didn't really have any soreness after that first game. You asked him about that the other day. But still hasn't reached that point yet where he's not afraid of re-injuring himself. And that's such a key, pivotal point for an athlete to get past in any sport after coming off an injury. 12 to shoot it. Price driving in past Kemwright. The floater left short. Ando rips down the rebound.
To your point about Joe Reddick, when do you get over that hurdle thinking about trusting in it? Whatever the injury is for Reddick as a foot injury, when do you completely trust that foot injury? That is a hurdle to get over for all athletes.
Reddick over to Ando. He'll take the jumper, too strong. The lead is 8 for Liberty. Cameron Jones with 5 first-half points, nearly turned it over, gives him the corner instead, and a 3 is good from R.J. Price.
And lo and behold, Radford is within 5. Just a minute ago, we were talking about closing out the half, Liberty trying to take a double-digit lead into the locker room, and the exact opposite has happened. Radford has cut this lead to just single digits.
Price with 5 in the first half. He's coming off a 20-point effort against UNC Asheville as Reddick turns it over here, trying to find Theo Johnson.
I mentioned before, I thought the offense was running just a bit smoother with Dimbley on the court, and Dimbley has just checked in for Reddick. So we'll see how the offense flows these final 2 minutes with Dimbley at the PG position.
Big South Conference Championships coming up next week in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, March 3rd through the 8th. It's tournament time. Don't miss your chance to be part of the action. Reserve your seats for the Big South Championships by calling 434-582-SEAT. Fan the Flames toward the big dance. Inside of 2 minutes, Noreen back in the game. He launches a 3 and hits, and it is a 2-point ball game now.
Noreen, one of the seniors. This is a guy who's been through the battles, and you can tell Radford, they have a ton of seniors on their team. They have 4 key seniors, and they have brought them back in this ball game.
11 upperclassmen and a turnover now. Radford can tie with a bucket. Price to the window, he lays it in. And we are knotted at 30 with 1:17 to go, and a timeout taken.
8-0 run by Radford. Price knocked down the triple. Noreen knocked down the triple, then Price with the layup. As we take a look at where the run started, well, this is Noreen, so this is the second triple. Right before that, Price had knocked down the triple, and here's the tying basket right here. Price going to the rack. We talked about the seniors, Price and Noreen, both of those guys taking part in this 8-0 run by Radford. So whereas we were hoping Liberty could take a double-digit lead into the locker room, now we hope Liberty can take a lead into the locker room.
And to your point a minute ago, you were talking about the seniors and the upperclassmen and the experience for Radford. You're built to withstand something like that. On the road, down double digits early on. You've been punched in the mouth out of the gates. There's not much you haven't seen in your career. You're built to withstand that and come back, and that's what Radford's done.
When you're a senior, you understand there's a lot of ball game to be played. We talked about how Liberty played well for the first 15 minutes, but this is a 40-minute ball game. And when you're seniors, you understand you don't panic. You chip away at the lead, get back in the ball game, and that's exactly what the Highlanders have done.
About a minute to go in the half. Liberty needs a good possession here if it does not want to relinquish the lead that it's had much of the first half. Or, well, trail anyway, as Theo Johnson lays that one in. They've already relinquished the lead, but they have not trailed since very early. 42 seconds. Anderson, a three. Left it short. Dimbley tipped it. And we'll see. It's going to go to the Flames. Dimbley was in the air, but I guess he wasn't the last to touch it.
About a 1 second differential between the shot clock and the game clock. I would imagine Liberty's going to wind this one down, Nick, and try to get the last shot.
Flames have already burned 2 timeouts here in the first half, so this is going to be all Liberty here as Jordan Dimbley stands at midcourt. 12 to shoot. Drew Smith now in the corner with 7. It's Reed up top. Now Theo Johnson with 4. Theo's going to launch a 3. It's off the mark. And it'll be Radford basketball with a half second left on the clock.
But when we talk about good shot selection, Nick, final shot, why not get something going to the basket instead of settling for the outside shot?
And with that, we will go to the locker rooms. The Liberty Flames do indeed take the lead into halftime. Liberty 4-1 when leading at the half this season. 32-30. Flames by 2 over the Highlanders. And in just a moment, we're going to check in with the Flames head coach, Dale Lair. And Lindsey Keith is standing by with him now. Lindsey?
Coach, you guys came out blazing. What fueled that hot start for you guys?
We were attacking the rim well, but it all started on the defensive end. I thought we competed really well, one-on-one, man-to-man. We stopped the bounce, made them shoot contested jumpers, and that fueled our offense.
All right, thanks, Coach. Like getting there with the guys.
All right, thank you, Lindsey. 32-30, Liberty by 2 at the break. We'll be back with the halftime festivities, the Moore's Electrical Mechanical Halftime Show coming your way next. Flames basketball on LFSN is made possible by Hardee's, home of the Charbroiled Thick Burger. Sunbelt Rentals, for all of your equipment rental needs. Choice Hotels, great rooms at great rates. And by Utz Quality Foods, fresh tasting snacks for families and entertaining.
Be free to be you. The freedom to drive what you want to drive, wear what you want to wear, and bank where you want to bank. At Carter Bank & Trust, you'll find the freedom to bank the way you like. Personal service with a smile, face-to-face from people that know you. And with services like our no-fee debit card, lifetime free checking, and over 100 convenient locations, you're free to bank your way. Carter Bank & Trust, the freedom to be you.
Second. Neil, we can see you coming down the ladder now.
My name is Laura Holmes. I graduated from Liberty University with my bachelor's in psychology. Coming to the program and doing this online as a person who's worked out in the world for over 20 years and didn't have the Christian education and now has that the impact that Liberty has had on me has been overwhelming. To have that scriptural basis put into everything that I've learned My only regret is I didn't have it 20-some years ago.
You're watching LFSN, and this is the Moore's Electrical and Mechanical Halftime Report.
Welcome back to Liberty Mountain, 32-30 in favor of your Liberty Flames. And guys, a kind of a Jekyll and Hyde first half for Liberty. Looked so good at one point, then things kind of started to trail off. What was going well when it was right, and what was going bad when it was bad?
Well, I think Theo Johnson came out and really attacked the basket, kind of set the tempo, did a great job of creating offense for himself and for his teammates. And, Liberty shot really well, a high percentage the first 10 minutes. And here you see Theo Johnson get an inbounds pass, up and finish. Could have been an and one. Here you see him, a little pump fake attacking the basket. There's an and one, finishing strong around the basket, attacking to his left again. He's getting into the paint, getting shots up on the rim, creating a lot of good things.
Yeah, Theo was great as an individual. As a team, I really liked how they took great shots, good decisions, good shot selection, also moved the ball very well, found the open man. So when things were clicking, you saw that ball movement, good decisions, good passing.
How much of those quality scoring opportunities, though, getting open looks, came from the guys finally, it seemed like, driving the lane and kicking it back out?
Yeah, creating shots for teammates, and certainly Demble's done a great job in the absence of Joe Reddick, but then Reddick came in. And, that's one of his specialties, is being able to use the bounce to create for himself. Other players, having those two guys being able to, spell each other as far as subbing in and out. But having one of those guys on the court all the time is pretty critical.
Yeah, one other thing Liberty did really well was attack their pressure. And, again, Radford loves to come with that full court pressure and trapping, and they made great decisions out of that, didn't turn the ball over too much, and then had numbers on the other end and really early on attacked the rim and got a lot of points.
Here, real quick about Reddick. How long do you think till he's 100%? Will he be there by next weekend when it really counts?
I think, every day he's probably getting a little stronger, probably a little bit more comfortable. And so the more time he can get on the court, the better off he's going to be.
Javonte Green, a quiet but solid first half for Radford. Kind of kept them lingering, and then finally they even things up late.
Yeah, it wasn't spectacular, but here you see him sealing strong to get an easy bucket. He did a little bit of everything. Here you see getting a steal in transition. Shows his athleticism right here, finishing at the basket. Here's a little floater inside. And so, yeah, he's a solid rebounder. 9 points, 7 rebounds. Those are big-time numbers for a half, but it did seem like a quiet first half for him.
Well, and another thing that sort of went unnoticed was when Liberty was making their run, I saw him get very vocal with his team. He talked about him as a captain and as a leader, and he really got the guys and said, hey, we're going to fight. We're going to fight through this, and he brought them through that rough time, that rough patch.
A guy that's been a leader for Liberty through the second part of this season has been Andrew Smith. He's been really great as of late. Things started to die off offensively for the Flames as well when he kind of got into foul trouble.
Yeah, Andrew, right here, he's always been so active and never given up around the basket. And again, picked up a couple offensive rebounds, just right time, right place. Here, him and Joe just have a great connection. There you see a nice alley-oop where they read each other. And Andrew Smith, he's had that leader mentality, the attack mentality, and so again, that Liberty through a little bit of a tough patch early in that first half too.
What adjustments did Radford make there at the end of the first half to kind of get things going offensively their way?
Well, the biggest thing I thought was Andrew Smith picked up his second foul. He had to go sit on the bench. When he did that, the energy dropped a little bit. And then, Radford knocked down a couple of shots. They missed, I think, the first 5 3-pointers. They knocked down 2 or 3 coming in the stretch. And making shots will cover a multitude of sins in the game of basketball.
Yeah, turnovers against some teams just lead to them coming down the other end and running offense. But against this Radford team, when you turn the ball over against them, they are going to run it down your throat. They love transition points. A couple times, the guys that got a steal went coast to coast. Nobody stopped the ball, and they got easy points out of that.
Yeah, definitely. Well, make sure you stay with us when we come back after the break. Naz, the coach, takes us down courtside, shows us a few things.
Passion. Pride.
Intensity.
Leadership. Teamwork.
Memories.
6 days.
11 schools. 20 games. 22 teams.
One goal.
Advance to the dance. Visit MyrtleBeach.com.
Big South Basketball Champion.
We'll see you in Myrtle Beach.
Myrtle Beach.
Myrtle Beach Madness.
Buy your tickets today. Go big or go home.
We are the dreamers.
The game changers.
The freedom fighters.
And the melody makers.
We are a university that doesn't just graduate scholars.
Any college can do that.
We train champions.
From all fields of study and all walks of life.
To be influencers on a global scale and make a difference for God.
So here's your invitation.
Here's your invitation.
Your invitation.
To the largest Christian university in the world.
Liberty University, one of the nation's largest nonprofit educators.
You're watching LFSN, and this is the Moore's Electrical and Mechanical Halftime Report.
Hey, welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us. Now we're going to go down to Naz's pre-recorded segment where he shows us the art and science of the screen.
All right, for today's coaching breakdown segment, Matt and Alexis and myself, we're going to walk you through using the ball screen. Matt's going to show you, we'll show you a couple things that a guard can do first, and also a couple things out of the screening action that the big man can do. So the first thing, as I set a screen on his man, and he comes off of that, if he can create some space, he's instantly looking for a shot to come off of that. If, as I set the screen, his man tries to cheat under or chase him around the screen, he can penetrate. And when he gets in there, he has the option, now that he's got that space, to either shoot or he may be looking to a skip pass for the opposite wing. Now, as the screener, I can do a couple things after he uses my screen. So one thing I can do is roll to the basket. So I set the screen, he comes off, and I'll roll to the basket and look for a shot that way. The other thing that I can do is if I'm a big man with some range, 15 to 17 feet, I can set the screen. They call this a pick and pop. I'll pop out to an area that I'm comfortable shooting in and look for a shot there. So there's a few different actions, a couple from the guard, a couple from the big, about using the ball screen. Look for that in the second half.
We'll take a look at some plays that happened here in the first half, guys. There were plenty of opportunities for picks and rolls and picks and pops.
There were an awful lot of pick and rolls, and you see here in the first half, Johnson coming off the screen. You see the roll by Johnson. No one helps out in the paint. There it is, the dunk. That's what happens, and that's what the pick and roll does. It puts pressure on the defense. They have to make decisions, and if they're not all together, then, you know, things like that can happen. We'll see a couple more here.
Yeah, let's take a look here at the legal screen that Radford had.
You got to get set as a big man. Here you see him moving. You know, you got to go get set. The guard's got to help him out a little bit there too, but you got to get set before a guy comes off the pick and roll. That's really poor play by the Radford big man.
Hey, Naz, as we break these things down, is this a system that works really well for an athletic team like Liberty has guys, big men that can move their feet?
Yeah, big men that can move their feet and also, like saying, can get out and shoot. Right. You know, we've seen Andrew Smith and David Ando, great from 15 to 17. So, and they got big bodies, set it, pop out, and you're definitely a scoring threat.
Yeah, you'd think David Ando, this would be his bread and butter as we continue on and take another look at an instance here of this.
Here you see Reddick and Ando, and there's the screen, little help. He flares out. And once again, what the pick and roll does is it creates driving lanes. Reddick's a master at that. He gets his defender on his hip, is able to get into the paint, and from there he can do an awful lot of things. You know, there he goes ahead and shoots the floater, but he can kick out for threes as well. That's what the pick and roll does.
Now let's take a look at the final one here, Radford.
All right, so here's a quick screen by Green, and this is a pull-up jumper right there by Jones. And, you know, that's what happens. You come off that, if you're a shooter, you get a little bit of space. Pick and roll can create so many different options for the offense.
Now, defensively, Naz, is that an instance there where Smith should have gotten out there and gotten his hand up quicker than he did?
Yeah, we'll see. Okay. There's different ways to handle it, but that's what you create when you set that up. You create confusion of should the big go out and cover or should the guard try to fight through. And all it takes is just a little bit of either space or indecision, and when you get that daylight, you can, you know, you can pop a shot right there.
Yeah, and on the fly, you have to make those decisions because they're screening different people, and you have to know the scouting report. Right. You know, is this a guy that I'm going to chase around the screen? Is this a guy that I'm going to hedge out on? Or are we going to go under the screen? Can he shoot? It creates all sorts of confusion, like Naz said, for the defense, and that's why it's such a great offense to run.
How much would a team typically, you'd say, taking time of video kind of analyzing this?
Well, it's more as far as just talking through how you're going to approach it. And again, on the fly in the midst of a game, you know, it's hard to keep track of.
Right.
And that's why, you know, we probably saw 15, 20 pick and rolls there in the first half, and we'll see a lot more in the second half.
Yeah, it's a big part of the game, and there's a lot of intricacies to defend it correctly.
Yeah. Well, as we continue on, you know, you're probably going to see a guy like Andrew Smith come back in the second half. Do you think he's going to be the factor, the added boost that they need to hopefully hold on to this lead and move on?
Yeah, I think that Andrew's going to have to come out and be big. Johnson's going to have to come out and be big. And they're going to have to knock down shots. That's the cure for a lot of ills. If Liberty comes out to knock down shots, it's going to be a good second half for them.
As we said, Flames leading by 2. Theo Johnson leading the way scoring-wise. When we come back, Nick taking it away for the second half.
We're back here at Lynchburg Nissan, and what a game.
The kids want white. I want white. Who's going to get the white?
Oh, technical foul. Sounds like they can't agree on which color Nissan Quest to get. They'll head to the showroom and shoot for it. He'll get the ball first.
He shoots. Oh, and a miss.
It wasn't even close, Jim. Like he wasn't even trying. She's got the steal. And it's good.
I believe she wanted the black one.
That's right, Jim. And here at Lynchburg Nissan, everyone comes away with a win.
Now this is living life to the fullest.
Ground ball, fair ball down the left field line. Ball game over. The 0-2. Swing and a miss. He struck him out.
Fastball grounded back up the box. The shortstop makes the play and Liberty wins it.
Brower the runner at first. Swing and a drive. Belted left. That ball is gone, and we've got a tie ball game.
Get your tickets now at libertyflames.com.
Back inside the Vine Center, second half just about to get underway as we check in once again with Lindsey Keith.
Had a chance to catch up with Coach Jones before the game, and he was talking about Javonte Green and what an asset he is to this team. But he said one of the biggest things that he's done for the Highlanders is be a team player and teach the whole team how to trust each other. He's a leading scorer tonight, but it looks like Coach Jones is looking for him to be more of a leader off the bench as well.
All right, thank you, Lindsey, and take a look at the first half statistics here.
Field goal percentage about even, Nick. 44% for the Flames, 42% for the Highlanders. Liberty 1 out of 2 from deep. Radford 3 out of 10. Rebounds about even, turnovers about even. Points off turnovers. Radford loves to get out in transition, 9-3 in favor of the Highlanders. Liberty leads points to the paint, 20-14. But you see a lot of those stats are even, Nick, and that's why this is such a close ball game with the Flames holding on to a 2-point lead.
To expand on Lindsey's point there about Javonte Green a moment, Theo Johnson gets ready to inbound here for Liberty. Well, Green was in some foul trouble in that game against UNC Asheville, and he only played a short amount of minutes in that one, actually 16 minutes, and only scored 10 points. But Jalen Carruthers came off the bench and played big minutes, 22 minutes for him, as James Johnson gets fouled here by Holcomb in the early going. And that was Coach Jones's point, is they've been able to not rely so much on him. We take another look here at this foul by Holcomb.
Johnson on that play did a great job, too, of making a big target for the passer. Flashed his hands up, took the pass, drew the foul, as Theo Johnson misses the shot there.
Ill-advised shot there from Theo, a little bit out of control. Holcomb, by the way, picked up his third. Now Noreen thought about it, gives out to Price instead. A lesson in the pick and roll from Paul Nazigan at halftime. Price with a three, and that swirls around and falls through.
And that's one of the things they talked about there. How do you defend the pick and roll? On that play on the pick and roll, Liberty's guard got caught going underneath, and Price killed him with the triple.
Drew Smith trying to come up and get that ball. That'll go back to the Flames. By the way, Radford has its first lead since early in the first half.
The last time Radford led was 2-0, Nick, but once again, you see that was Dembley trying to go underneath, and Price knocked down the triple. Price came in with 73 pointers. He leads the Highlanders from downtown.
Jordan Dembley will inbound here, as Liberty's going to have to go the length of the floor and do it against Radford's press. Dembley almost took an extra step that time. He's trapped. And that ball's kicked. It's going to go back to Liberty.
Liberty was in trouble on that play, too, so the kick by Green kind of was a blessing for Liberty so they can try to reset. But, Nick, you want to pass this ball through the press, specifically get the ball in the middle of the court.
Kemright holds it for a moment. Now Zemley runs into another trap. Kemright floats it ahead to Smith. And now Kemright driving in. It's James Johnson working on Dyer. Can't get anything to the basket. The Flames will set up in their half court. But it's only 7 to shoot here, so they don't have long. Smith now attacking and scoring.
During the halftime, the guys talked about the job that Drew Smith had done. Drew was so active early on the offensive glass, such an energy player, but he got into some foul trouble, and here's Drew Smith again. Nice move there, dropping in the bucket. Drew now in double figures with 10 points.
So it's the Flames by 1 now. Anderson off the screen, kicks to Noreen. Driving, and now Price will launch a triple and hit. R.J. Price, red hot. To start the second half.
You don't want him to get hot. This guy on the Radford career list, second all-time, came in with 294 three-pointers. He's got 3 triples on this evening.
Highlanders press again. This time it's Smith going baseline. He missed the jam, but he gets fouled.
I'll tell you what, Nick, Liberty has had a couple of dunk attempts that have just been off the meters. The one by Theo and this time by Drew Smith as he goes to the rack with true aggression. Look at that. Lucas Dyer has almost been on the poster twice now, Nick. He's been in the wrong place.
Somebody needs to hand Dyer a Sharpie. Get him ready. Smith knocking down the first free throw.
Between Theo and Andrew, both of those guys have tried to abuse Dyer underneath. I mean, they've been so close.
Fun to watch. Green to the bench now. It is Carruthers coming in, the senior from Burlington, North Carolina. Smith's second attempt left it short. Well, tipped out to the Highlanders. Price will launch again. Left that one short. And Theo Johnson runs it down.
Somebody has to get a hand in Price's face, though, Nick. He's already got a couple of triples in his half. You don't want him to just start going off.
Johnson drives, too strong.
And here's Price in transition.
Anderson, he torched the Flames at the Dedman Center, had 5 threes in that first meeting. Been pretty quiet here tonight. Price gets fouled. The shot won't fall. R.J. Price will be headed to the free throw line here.
The senior is in attack mode in the second half. It's evident. 7 points in the first half. He has 13 already. Excuse me, a total of 13, but he has 6 already in the second half is what I meant to say. So Price in attack mode, taking the ball to the rack, and we've seen his outside shooting prowess with a couple of jump shots from beyond the arc in the second half for R.J. Price.
First one will go for Price. The foul was on Dembley. It's his first. First on Liberty in the half. Radford leading by 1 here. Price with 14 tonight. Make it 15.
So already 2.5 minutes in, and Price with 8 points in this half.
Dembley crosses the timeline. Liberty down by 3. Theo Johnson driving on Noreen, spins, shot will fall, and the foul, Theo Johnson.
How about that spin move by Theo Johnson? Gets bumped and gets the bucket to fall. As we take another look at it, Theo working on the baseline, spins back to the middle of the court. That was a pretty difficult shot. Theo able to get it to drop as he goes to the line for the old-fashioned three-point play.
He's converted on one of those tonight. And there's his second. Theo Johnson, 14 points now on the evening. And we are tied at 38.
It will be interesting to see if this game stays nip and tuck, Nick, tight throughout. Who tends to tighten up at the end? Liberty, loose and free, nothing to lose. Will they just come out and try to take control? Or will the seniors, like Price for Radford, step up?
Another 3 from R.J. Price. That's his 3rd of the half.
He's now got 11 points in this half, Nick. Price about to explode, averaging only 13 on the season, well above that with 18 total here tonight.
Here's Drew Smith going the baseline. Shot will fall and the foul. Smith back to the free throw line.
And this is something we haven't really seen from Liberty all season, the answer. Price makes a bucket, Theo Johnson answers. Radford makes a bucket, Andrew Smith drives baseline, basket and one. When a team gives you a blow, do you have a counterpunch on the other end? A lot of times this season, Liberty has not had a counterpunch, but so far in the second half, they have.
Smith to tie it. Hits it. We're tied at 41, and now the Flames will try to spark something here from the defensive end. You can have the answer, but you got to get a stop here and there. Noreen up top to Carruthers. RJ Price with it now off the screen, inside the arc this time, too strong. Johnson will give it off to Dembley. Now Ethan Layer launches a three, in and out. A little rushed on the shot attempt there.
But you know, Nick Lair is a three-point shooter. Basket in transition. You get a shot like that to fall before the defense gets set. Not the best shot, but that wasn't a terrible shot as Cameron Jones takes it to the rack and lays it in.
Radford by 2 now. Dembley rode all the way up the floor by Price. Lair is junior out of Forest. Turns it over. Noreen now racing back down the floor. Got behind Theo Johnson and lays it in. Radford by 4 now.
So here's a point, Nick, where Liberty needs to answer. Cameron Jones got the bucket. Radford goes on the other end. They got to stop. You talked about how Liberty needs to get a stop. Radford got to stop. They got to steal, and Noreen scored in transition. What does Liberty do to make sure this game doesn't get out of hand?
Ball was tipped. It will stay with the Flames after the timeout on the floor. Liberty down by 4. Flames and the Highlanders in the Vine Center. RJ Price heating up.
Hello, beautiful. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Hi, Anthony. How much did my discount double check save me?
About $150.
Done.
I don't have State Farm, but insurance, find me money.
I got you $1. Oh, you almost had it. You gotta be quicker than that.
Having insurance isn't the same as having State Farm. There to help you with unexpected savings. That's getting to a better state.
See your local State Farm agent to help you with unexpected savings.
I had a meeting scheduled with my guidance counselor to let her know what my final decision for a school would be. And as I was sitting there, I glanced over at a magazine rack, and one of the magazines caught my eye, so I picked it up, opened it up, was looking through it, and there was a 2-page spread about Liberty. And I read the testimonials, I saw the campus, and immediately I knew that's the place I want to go. My experience was nothing but rewarding. I found that everything from the campus to the professors to the academics was everything I could have hoped for and more. And I was always challenged. I always found the opportunity to have someone next to me who was a little further along than me, pushing me and making me a better person in that area. My life since Liberty has completely changed. I feel that going into the world, leaving this place, graduating, I'm fully prepared and equipped to impact this world for God.
Radford with a 4-point lead here in the second half. Nick Pierce, Clement Townsend with you inside the Vine Center. As we take another look here at the Highlanders getting going offensively. Cameron Jones to the basket.
Quick 4-0 spurt by Radford. Cameron Jones gives Radford a 2-point lead. And then here's Radford getting it done on the defensive end. Noreen with the steal. Theo goes for the steal, doesn't get it, and Noreen drops in the bucket. So a couple of quick buckets by Radford gives them a 4-point lead after this game was tied at 41.
But make no mistake, it has been RJ Price here in the second half with 11 points to lead the way for the Highlanders. He's got 18 on the night now, and Price, second all-time in made three-pointers in Radford Highlander history. He's second only to Doug Day. Doug Day with 401 career made threes. I don't think RJ is going to get there. He's got 294 coming into tonight, but Dougie could shoot it back in the day, and probably still could. He's coach at Blacksburg High School now, does a fantastic job up there. It's a steal by Radford. Jones is going to run it down and get fouled by Reddick.
They're going to call an intentional foul on that, Nick. 2 shots and the ball.
Wow. I don't know about that.
Let's take another look at it, though, Nick. As we check it out, does Reddick make a play on the ball? Kind of looks like a frustration foul. Let's see what Reddick does. He did take a stab at the ball there, Nick. I would say he made a play on the ball. He reached for it. There was a shove that went along with it, but Reddick did reach for it. In a close ball game like this, Nick, that's just a play that you hate to see. 4-point ball game. Liberty with the turnover. Radford gets 2 shots and the ball. This could turn out to be a 4-point possession.
This could be a huge swing in the ball game. Second free throw missed. But as you said, the Highlanders will get the ball back as we take another look at it. Another angle here.
Wow. He made a play on the ball. He got a lot of arm. But I do believe Reddick made a play on the ball. The referees evidently saw it differently, Nick.
Inbound coming, and it's stripped away. Ethan Layer and now getting tangled up on the floor. And it's going to be a jump ball. Flames getting aggressive here, going after the basketball, and I'm sure some emotion in there as well. A team that is 1-15 in conference play this year, not playing like it tonight, down by 5 here to a 21 team in Radford. They're on their home floor, there's a lot of pride involved here. Anderson off the inbound, thought about the three. Flames close out to him quickly. They tiptoe around the lane though and takes it to lay it in.
And off the made basket, that allows Radford to set up the pressure, and this is the danger zone for Liberty. Game was tied at 41. Radford with the 7-0 run, trying to extend his lead to double digits. Liberty desperately needs a bucket.
Who will the Flames go to here? Drew Smith gives off to Reddick. Layer in the corner with 11. Now Ando will try the jumper and hit.
What a timely basket by Ando to stop the 7-0 run and to keep Liberty in the ball game. You know, throughout the season, Liberty has had stretches where they haven't scored, but tonight they've been able to answer and find buckets. Now just let's see if they can keep getting closer.
5-point game. Highlanders with the ball. Javante Green wide open, passes on the shot, and Davis traveled with it. That's not Green's game. He passed on the shot, and Rashawn Davis turned it over.
Well, this is Ando's game right here, the mid-range game, and Ando strokes the jumper there. Ando has been pretty quiet tonight, but gets that one to drop.
Here come the Flames now with a chance to cut it to a single possession with a bucket. Theo Johnson having a good night so far for the Flames. Gives to Smith. Reddick had it stripped, and here comes Javante Green with a tomahawk on the other end.
You knew what was coming, Nick. Anytime he's in the open court, ladies and gentlemen, get ready for a show. And Javante Green with the tomahawk jam. That's nasty.
Javante Green, one of the all-time leaders in steals for the Highlanders. He had 48 of them on the season coming into tonight. Here comes Drew Smith now, and he will settle for the lay-in.
Drew Smith with a nice finger roll. Smith had thoughts of dunking that basketball, Nick. He elevated pretty high.
I like that, though. Just make sure you hit the shot. And now it's steal from Theo Johnson the other way. Theo gets fouled. And Dale Layer wanting an intentional foul call now.
Same type of foul, Nick. Same type of foul. Hard slap on the wrist. Theo petitioning for an intentional foul. But Coach Lair and
Coach
Theo
says, what's the difference?
look like the same type of foul to me. Here's another look. After the steal, Theo waits for Green. Look the same to me, Nick, but we're not refereeing. We're over here on the side.
5-point game, Johnson to the foul line. And Joe Reddick now talking to Jerry Heater as well about that. Johnson knocks down the first free throw.
I'm just impressed with the resiliency that Liberty has shown this evening. Trailed by 7, got the key bucket from Ando, Andrew Smith with the lay-in, and then Theo Johnson with the steal. Liberty refuses to go away tonight. This team is just showing a ton of fight.
Second free throw good as well. And it is a three-point game now, and it goes back to the point that we made earlier about how many teams would have folded it in by now. Flames have not done that.
And remember, they led by 13 points in the first half. Led by 2 at the half.
Anderson.
Continuing to fight though.
No good. That was an ill-advised shot, probably even with Yaya Anderson's range. Dimbley now. Swings it to Drew Smith, who was cut off from the paint by Carruthers. Ando from the foul line, won't go. Smith taps it back out, though. And Jordan Dimbley runs it down.
That's the stuff you don't see in the box score. Just the energy by Drew Smith tapping that ball back out, giving Liberty an extra possession.
He's been playing like that for a while now, Drew. Ando has it blocked by Dyer. Ball tipped, and it will go back to Radford. Coming up after the break. It's the under 12 here in Lynchburg. Radford clinging to a 3-point lead over its in-state rival Liberty.
Come and find your home with me. Your roots will grow down deep. Oh, you'll find me. Oh, home indeed. Find your heart and find your song. Home is where your heart belongs. Oh, you'll find me.
Moore's, your community choice for electrical and mechanical services.
Be free to be you. The freedom to drive what you want to drive, wear what you want to wear, and bank where you want to bank. At Carter Bank and Trust, you'll find the freedom to bank the way you like. Personal service with a smile, face-to-face from people that know you. And with services like our no-fee debit card, lifetime free checking, and over 100 convenient locations, you're free to bank your way. Carter Bank and Trust, the freedom to be you.
Hi, I'm Kirk Cameron. As a father of 6 children, I recognize the importance of selecting a university that is not only going to prepare my kids for their career, but inspire and empower them to incorporate their faith into all aspects of their life. At Liberty, I believe that parents can rest, assured their kids are going to be surrounded by good, positive influences, allowing them to make the most of their college experience while they train to change their world.
Under 12 timeout at the Vine Center. Radford leads Liberty by 3. Dale Lair imploring his team to finish strong as we take a look at our Carter Bank and Trust game at a glance. 6 3-pointers for Radford on the night now, Clement.
Absolutely. Field goal percentage slightly in favor of the Highlanders, 49-46. 6 out of 15 from deep. Liberty 1 out of 3. Rebounds about even, but how about those points off turnovers? 16-5 in favor of Radford. And Liberty hasn't been terrible. Liberty has 10 turnovers. Radford has about 8. So Liberty hasn't been, too bad in the turnover category, but Radford has really taken advantage of those turnovers.
Well, we got a moment here. I want to remind folks our next televised broadcast and our final Flames basketball broadcast of the year coming up Saturday at 3 o'clock. Liberty taking on UNC Asheville. It'll be senior day for the Flames. Highlander basketball out of the timeout. Flames looking for a stop here. And a chance to perhaps tie it on the other end. Anderson. Gives off down low now. And the hook shot won't go for Carruthers. Flames get it back.
It would be nice for Liberty to get something going to the basket, Nick. That's where they've had a lot of success tonight, going towards the rim.
Running the baseline. Smith, though, pulls the jumper instead inside the arc. It's a 1-point game.
And Smith has been hot. He's had the touch, 7 out of 11, 18 points. Just last week against Longwood, I believe it was, Smith had a career-high 21, and he's got 18 tonight, 3 away from that.
A 3 on the other end won't go for Rashawn Davis, and Smith comes up with a rebound. Flames could take the lead on a bucket here.
David Ando desperately calling for the ball. He wants to take Dyer to the rack.
Ando driving, gets fouled, and he will go to the free throw line here. And that's where Liberty's had the bulk of their success tonight. Driving inside, they've gotten a ton of fouls. against the Highlanders. That's already 6.5 here as we take another look at Drew Smith from long range.
Some people think Smith is just a high flyer, but Smith also showing he's got some touch from the outside.
I say long range. That's mid-range, but long for Drew Smith. Here's Ando. Front end good, tied at 50. David Ando tonight with 5 points. This is his first trip to the foul line. He's 2 of 8 shooting. Ando coming into this game shooting 27% in his last 3 games, but he had 14 against Radford in the first meeting.
Ando, a good free throw shooter, Nick, leads the team from the charity stripe at 75%, knocks down both of those. So hopefully going to the line, seeing a couple of free throws go in, maybe that will get Ando more in a groove.
So many times you hear great players talk about coming off of a bad half or shots not falling for them. They see it go through the cylinder a couple of times at the free throw line, and then they finish strong. So that's a very good point there. Something about that mentality as Anderson drives, tries to get it to Javonte Green, and Green turns it over. AC Reed running down the floor with it now. A kick to Dembley, 3 in transition will go. Liberty by 4.
Great dish by AC Reed. Dembley was wide open, and Liberty now has an 11-0 run.
Noreen, the answer on the other end, won't go. Holcomb is going to get charged with a foul. He pushed off. Ball will go back to Liberty. Let's take another look here. AC Reed with the find.
This is the freshman to freshman connection. The true freshman from Texas finding the true freshman from Minnesota, Jordan Dembley. So the young guys making big contributions in key stretches here in the second half.
David Endo will go to the free throw line here. This is already the 1-and-1. 7th foul on Radford in the half. Front end goes for Endo. Liberty by 5 now. Ando with 7 points now on the night. And only 2 in the first half. David Ando, the junior from Montreal. 2 of 2 on that trip. Liberty by 6. And the Flames have scored the last 11 points in this game. Actually make it the last 13. 13-0 run over the last 255.
Coach Laird has to be proud of the performance from his team here tonight, Nick. Not hanging their heads, continuing to fight.
Foul away from the basketball. It's going to go against Liberty. It'll be Noreen to trigger it in here. That was on James Johnson, his 3rd. It's been a game of runs. Noreen driving in, and now a block on Johnson again. That's his 4th. He's going to have to go to the bench. David Ando will come right back into the ball game after Dale Ayer was trying to give him a breather. Noreen to inbound it. Carruthers over Smith. Won't go. Green there with a putback.
Great defense by Andrew Smith, but Javonte Green, such a threat on the glass. Gets the putback there.
Johnson rips it away on the pass. Liberty's lead is 4. Jordan Dembley, the point guard between the circles, gives off to AC Reed. Reed tries to put a move on Noreen, driving inside. He gets fouled. When was the last time you saw AC Reed drive to the basket like that?
Don't see him go to the rack much, but once again, you like the aggressiveness. You like AC Reed attacking the glass. Let's take another look. AC with a nice crossover. Noreen had pretty good position, but got Reed on the wrist as AC attempted that shot.
18 fouls on Radford now in the half as Reed knocks down the front end. And Liberty's lead is at 5 with 9 minutes to go. This is the second one. Liberty now on the foul line tonight. 17 of 23. It's reminiscent of what the Flames did at the Dedman Center earlier this year. They went 25 of 27. few more misses tonight, but they have gotten to the line a ton. Javonte Green one-on-one with Drew Smith. This should be fun. Smith gets charged with a foul. He thought he had all ball.
Looked to be all ball as well. Would love to see a replay on that one, Nick. Javonte with the move on the block. Maybe he got him with the body, Nick. Let's watch the body. I guess they could call the bump. That had to be what that was. Because it was nothing at the top. Andrew had his hand on top of the ball. There was a little contact with the body there.
So Javonte Green to the foul line with 13 points tonight. Misses the front end. Ball doesn't lie, Clement.
Rasheed Wallace made it famous. Ball don't lie.
8:38 to go in this one. Green just 1 of 3 on the charity stripe tonight. But he's a rebound away from a double-double that would be the 33rd of his career.
Guy's a double-double machine. Almost averages a double-double. 15 points, 8 boards.
Theo Johnson got trapped, able to split that double team, though, and get the ball away. That was nearly a backcourt as Theo Johnson takes it and lays it in.
And Liberty was lucky that that wasn't basket interference because Andrew was hanging on the rim as Theo laid that one in.
Flames by 6. Cameron Jones, pull-up jumper for 3. Got it.
This guy, Cameron Jones, is a junior, and he's just made some big contributions.
He's got 11 tonight. Reed, out to Ando. Jumper, good. Big shot from David Ando. The lead is back to 5.
We talked about it all night. Liberty with an answer. Jones hits a shot. Ando wastes no time answering. And this is Yaya answering high off the glass and one. He's headed to the free throw line.
We have got a good one here tonight in the Vine Center. We said it on the front end of the broadcast. Throw the records out the door. Liberty by 3, 7:48 to go. We are setting up for some kind of finish.
And it's game on, 4th and 18. Friends rushing the party in under an hour. Supermom's headed for the snack aisle. Ooh, this one's a scramble. It's all come down to this. Look at that air. She's got it. And there's that signature double pour. Crisp chips, crunchy pretzels. This crowd's gone crazy.
We did it, honey. Best party ever.
Yeah, we did it.
Let's go for the glory.
When I meet Liberty students now when I'm on the road, I'm like, dang, Liberty has changed. It's so diverse. I love it. And it just is impressive to me that people come in, and even though they all look different, they all act a little bit different. They're people that leave this place changed, leave this place ready to pursue their profession with all they got, but at the same time, have this beautiful love for Jesus.
Liberty University, one of the nation's largest nonprofit educators.
Nick and Clement with you in the Vine Center. 3-point game with 7:48 to go as we check in once again with Lindsay.
Thanks, Nick. You know, we've seen some awesome hops and dunks from Javonte Green and Andrew Smith tonight, but they've been in a competition off the court as well. They've been in the dark horse dunker competition this week, and someone advanced to the semifinals. That was Andrew Smith. I caught up with him, and he said he was sad that Javonte couldn't continue on because he was hoping there'd be 2 guys in the Big South, but he's hoping to pick up all those votes. You know, Nick, you ask him how many times he looks at the standings every day. He was a little bit coy about that, but he said maybe around 20 times a day. But he wanted to remind everyone you can vote once a day at darkhorsedunker.com. I already put in my vote. Did you guys vote today?
I have. Thank you, Lindsay.
I guess I would be the odd man out. I'll have to do that before I leave. Have been voting for Andrew, didn't vote today. And Andrew was hoping with all those people that were voting for Javonte, now all those Big South fans.
All the Big South votes now.
Everybody can just vote for him.
Yeah, they were very close to being matched up in the semifinals. Javonte Green lost his quarterfinal matchup. Front end of the 1-and-1 here, no good. Drew Smith rips down the rebound. He has been aggressive tonight.
But Nick, how cool would that be if Drew can advance all the way to Indianapolis?
It's been a great competition. What a great idea.
For sure. Giving the small school guys or some of the schools that people don't talk too much about, giving those schools a chance to get into the big spotlight.
Theo Johnson with a big jumper there. It's a 5-point game. Absolutely. Get a Final Four weekend. Driving is Jones. Little contact, no call, and the Flames come away with a rebound. And also, I think, for Smith as well, in a season that has been, so disappointing on many levels, to have a little excitement here at the end, it's been a lot of fun for him and the fans.
That would be a great reward for him. Senior year, something he would never forget, something that he could take with him for a long time, as they say, something you can tell your grandkids about, Nick.
It'll be fun to see what he comes up with if he makes it. Ando driving, blocked by Carruthers. Smith gets it back. Drew Smith missed the layup. And it's Green with a rebound, and now he and Smith collide. It didn't appear to be anything intentional there. Just kind of awkwardly, both of those men came down. Here's Theo Johnson's last bucket for Liberty.
Theo knocking down the pull-up jumper. We've seen him go inside quite a bit tonight, but right there, showing off the mid-range game, the lost art of the pull-up jumper. A lot of guys don't, a lot of guys either take a floater or shoot deep, but right there, great decision by Theo, under control pull-up jumper.
Johnson now with a career-high 20 points. He had 19 the last time against Radford. He's had his career high against both of them, or against the Highlanders now twice this year.
I don't know what it is about Theo against these Highlanders, but something about playing them really gets Theo fired up, and that's a great tip-in by Yaya.
And Green with the miss, Anderson with the follow-through, and it's a 3-point game. 6.5 minutes left. It has been Theo Johnson and Drew Smith leading the way tonight as the Flames get it across. Jordan Dimbley getting a lot of the minutes at the point guard spot here down the stretch. Now it's Johnson. Shot clock at 12, Ando. Driving, spinning, kicking with 6 to AC Reed. Reed puts one up from the foul line, missed the rim. James Johnson has it go off his fingertips, and that's going to be a shot clock violation.
I think that was just great defense by Radford on that possession. Really defended the ball well. AC couldn't really find any room. Had to kind of just take a desperation shot late in the shot clock.
3-point lead for Liberty. Highlanders with the basketball here, trying to perhaps tie with a triple. Johnson on the floor for Liberty. James Johnson with 4 fouls.
The thing about Radford, Nick, they have so many guys that can take a big shot.
And here's Carruthers kicking outside instead. Anderson, he takes a big shot here, and it falls through. It's a 1-point game.
Anderson doing a great job of attacking the basket. Just a couple of possessions ago is when he went to the basket and got the shot to fall high off glass.
Mike Jones imploring his team to come after the basketball, and that's a 10-second violation.
That's the pressure that Radford uses. That's one of the things they like to do. Off a made shot, pressure the basketball, causing the violation. Here's Yaya going to the rack. Radford has so many guys, whether it's R.J. Price, whether it's Jones, whether it's Anderson, whether it's Green. I mean, so many guys that can get to the basket and so many guys that can take a big shot and make a big shot. Has to be a luxury for Coach Jones.
Drew Smith back into the game for Liberty now. Johnson will sit. James Johnson. We tick down to about the 5-minute mark here. Anderson with some indecision. Now Reddick harassing him. And a timeout is taken by Radford. And with that, we will head to break. 5:04 to go in this one. 63-62 Liberty by the slimmest of margins.
Brock, don't have a meltdown. Look, I know your patty melt is missing, but this bacon Velveeta patty meltdown is mine. I'd be upset too. Definitely not in the TV. You check the bookcase? Oh, my bad. It was under the napkins. Don't have a meltdown. Have a bacon Velveeta patty meltdown.
The Bacon Velveeta Patty Meltdown with grilled onions and applewood smoked bacon at Hardee's.
So teaching at Liberty is a lot different from teaching at other schools. I get to explore other options. We get to talk about philosophical things as well that go with science, not just what is, but why is it that way. Being surrounded by people that have the same passion that I do, like-minded believers, educators, scientists, is really a unique experience, not just in the United States, but I think in the world. Liberty University being probably the largest collection of PhDs that are also believers. That's quite unique. I guess my favorite part of teaching, of working here at Liberty, probably the students. They're excited about science, they're excited about truth, and they're excited about learning. So you put those things together, and it's just, from my perspective, it's a joy to teach.
.504 to go in the Vine Center. Liberty by 1 as we introduce you to our Hardee's star of the night. And that is going to be Liberty's Theo Johnson with a career-high 20 points.
Easy choice, the College of Charleston transfer. Theo, the lefty, doing a little bit of everything tonight. 6 out of 10. The floater there. We've also seen him with the spin move, basket and one. He's just been fantastic tonight with the career-high 20 points.
And along those lines, let's see our Lynchburg Nissan play of the game tonight. And that one belongs to Drew Smith, who has 18 tonight.
You love that one, Nick. You saw it coming. Drew getting behind the defense, throwing it down with 2 hands. Andrew Smith sure can get up. Those two have been potent tonight. Theo with 20, Andrew Smith with 18, a combined 38 points for that duo.
David Ando with 10 tonight as well. Flames have 3 players in double figures. Inside of 5 minutes here, Flames with the lead. Who will buckle down the stretch? RJ Price. Out to Carruthers. Tries to get it in behind the defense. Drew Smith with the tip. Ando rips it away.
Great job by Liberty on the defensive end. Drew Smith fronting the post with Javante Green. They try to throw it over the top, but Drew is just such a great jumper, was able to break up the pass.
It's Theo Johnson getting fouled. In the air that time, that's going to be the 9th team foul on Radford in the half. And it goes against Noreen. It's his 3rd overall.
Theo, 8 out of 12 from the line tonight. Make that 9 out of 13. And when you look at his free throw totals, the 13 free throw attempts, that's indicative of how aggressive he's been, Nick. You don't get 13 free throw attempts without attacking the basket, being aggressive, going to the rack.
Well, as Dale Ayers said, he's mixed his game up tonight. He's got 13 free throw attempts. He's got 10 field goal attempts, and he's knocked down 6 of those. Second one up, it rattles through.
That's efficiency. That's what that is. 6 out of 10, 60%. Easy math there.
Liberty by 3 with 4.5 minutes to go. The Highlanders have been here before. They overcame a double-digit deficit at Winthrop on 2 different occasions. Once in the first half, once in the second half. They overcame a double-digit deficit here earlier tonight as Price left to the lane, puts up the shot, and it falls.
Nick, how did he get that to go?
I don't know.
It was like an off-balance shot. Price continues to play well in the second half as Liberty holds on to possession, but they're going to have to call a timeout.
Dimbley with a heads-up play there that time. Once he gets the timeout, Liberty with 2 remaining here.
Let's take another shot at the jumper by Price. He tried to draw the foul on Theo, and Price actually jumped sideways, but still was able to knock it down. And how about Price in the second half, Nick? 13 points in the second half. He's got 20 in the game.
And RJ Price with a flurry of 3-pointers here in the second half. 3 of them, in fact.
RJ Price showing off the touch. We talked about it before. One of the best 3-point shooters in Radford history, and his downtown shooting has been on display here tonight.
RJ Price, 20 points. Coming off a 20-point performance as well against UNC Asheville.
He's been in a groove for sure, Nick.
He had 14 and 4 threes against Liberty in the first meeting back on January 24th. Look at that. How about that stat? Theo Johnson, 14 free throw attempts tonight. Radford with 10 as a team.
That just means Theo has been aggressive. That means that Coach Lair has been getting through to Theo about what it means to take the ball to the basket. Don't settle. Attack the defense. Attack the defense. Don't just settle for what the defense wants to give you. Attack the defense. Dictate your own offense.
Inside of 4 minutes, Liberty with a 1-point lead. Flames looking for their second conference win. Dimbley driving. Floater knocked away and taken by Radford.
Critical points in the game, you need to get good shots, execution. That was not great execution by the Flames on the offensive end.
Green in the paint scores, and Radford goes in front by 1. Javante Green now with 16.
So we know what Radford can do on the offensive end, whether it's Yaya, Javante Green.
Here comes Ando now driving, and a layup good after Liberty gets it by the Radford press.
Coach Lair showing a lot of intensity, telling his guys to turn up the heat on defense. We're locked in a tight one. You have to bring the intensity on defense if you're going to pick up a W in this type of contest.
Crowd starting to come alive here as well, sensing it with about 3 minutes to go. Price with a teardrop. It won't go. Drew Smith with a rebound.
He stopped by Liberty on the defensive end. Theo attacking the rim.
And he gets fouled.
And he's going to the line for 2 more. I just love what Theo has done here tonight as he's going to go to the line for his 15th and 16th free throws of the ball game.
Liberty by a point. 2:42 to go. Theo Johnson shooting free throws when we come back.
Second. Neil, we can see you coming down the ladder now.
Be free to be you. The freedom to drive what you want to drive, wear what you want to wear, and bank where you want to bank. At Carter Bank and Trust, you'll find the freedom to bank the way you like. Personal service with a smile, face-to-face from people that know you. And with services like our no-fee debit card, lifetime free checking, and over 100 convenient locations, you're free to bank your way. Carter Bank and Trust, the freedom to be you.
Hi, I'm Kirk Cameron. As a father of 6 children, I recognize the importance of selecting a university that is not only going to prepare my kids for their career, but inspire and empower them to incorporate their faith into all aspects of their life. At Liberty, I believe that parents can rest, assured their kids are going to be surrounded by good, positive influences, allowing them to make the most of their college experience while they train to change their world.
Just before we went to break, Theo Johnson gets to the rack again. Liberty leading by 1 here. Let's take a look.
Theo going right at the 6'7" Brandon Holcomb, trying to dunk on him. The Liberty players, they've had like a mean streak here tonight, Nick, just trying to take out their aggression on the Highlanders.
You need a little bit of that as we take a look at our Carter Bank and Trust game at a glance. What was it Charles Barkley said one time? You need a couple dirt bags out there. Theo Johnson's been a dirt bag tonight.
In a good way.
In the best way possible.
And we check out the stats. Field goal percentage about even, 50-49 for Radford. Free throws, Liberty, a big advantage in that category, helped by Theo Johnson. Bench points in the Flames' favor, 20-13, and points off turnovers, Radford leads that one, 18-9.
By the way, Brandon Holcomb fouled out of the basketball game. He is done.
Was he ever in the game, though, Nick? 0 points, 0 out of 1 from the field. Didn't have a big impact.
Did
That's
not,
all I'm
no,
saying
he did
tonight.
not. Not tonight. First foul shot good for Theo Johnson. He's piled up 23 now on the night. And there's 24.
I would love to know what exactly Coach Lair told Theo before the game, because it obviously has resonated with Theo.
They called him a beast in practice the other day. That was one thing I've noticed as well. Watching practice here yesterday, Dale Layer so encouraging towards his team, building these guys up. There's a time to yell and scream, and there's a time to go the other way as well. Yahya Anderson driving into the paint. Foul will go against Liberty, but Anderson can't get the shot to fall, and he'll shoot the free throws. That's going to be on Ando. And the course of this season has taken so much of a toll on the Flames as it is, as you take another look here at Anderson.
And a lot of times players take on the mentality of the coach. So if the coach remains upbeat, if the coach remains optimistic, the players will do the same. But if you can start to see the season wearing on the coach, then the players hang their heads. But obviously, Coach Lair has been about as upbeat as it gets. Anytime we meet him, talk with him, he's always laughing and joking, happy to talk about the game, happy to talk about the team. Really refreshing.
And don't get it twisted. There's a time to get into guys, and Coach Lair's not afraid to do that. But again, you know, when you're on a 3-game skid here, you've had a tough season. The last thing you want to do necessarily is show up and have a guy yelling and screaming at you every day. It's been a good balance there from Coach Lair, and I think, as you said, that's a big reason why this team has not quit. 2-point game. Free throw from Anderson goes. He was 1 of 2 on that trip. Flames now will try to break the pressure again.
They had trouble before with a 10-second violation. Radford pulls back, and Liberty gets it over the timeline this time.
Reddick and Dimbley in the game at once here. This is interesting.
We've seen that on a couple of occasions tonight. Coach Lair going with a different lineup.
Inside of 2 minutes, Ando thought about it. Instead, it's Drew Smith now driving to the basket. Layup good. Andrew Smith with 20.
I think when shots like that start to fall, it's your night if you're Drew Smith. Penetration, left-hand finish.
3 from Anderson, off the mark. Green reaching up for the rebound. He won't go, or he won't get it, but the ball will stay with Radford.
Take another look at this. We've seen Smith shooting baseline J's. Here we see him driving to the rack from the top of the key. Look at this, Nick. Putting the ball on the floor and finishing with the left hand. Andrew Smith, 1 point away from tying his career high. He's got 20 on the evening.
2 20-point scorers for the Flames tonight now. Here's Price with a triple. He missed everything, but the ball was touched by Jones, and it will go back to Liberty. Dimbley was in the vicinity, but it was Cam Jones who last touched it.
And Nick, should we say, or could we say, the rivalry game seems to maybe just bring the best out of Liberty? I mentioned it before. In the first meeting, Liberty scored 76 against Radford. That's the most points they've scored in conference all season. Here again tonight, Liberty up above 70, and they only average 63 points per contest.
71-67, Dimbley trapped, gets it out to Reddick. Joe, the junior from Indianapolis, brings it across the timeline. He gets fouled with 1:19 to go. How will the Flames close this game out? Will they be able to close it out? 1:19 seems like an eternity in this spot, but even with a 4-point lead.
Joe Reddick is a guy you want to have on the line, though, Nick. 80% from the year. So if there's one guy that Liberty wants to have on the line, Reddick is the man.
Double bonus here for the Flames as well. This will be 2 shots. The foul was on Cam Jones, his second. First one up and short for Joe Reddick. 80% free throw shooter on the season.
Such a tight ball game.
This is his first trip to the line tonight.
Such a tight ball game. Really need those free throws to go. Every point makes a difference when you have a closely contested ball game like this.
Second one is good. Liberty by 5 now. Don't lose Price here. Anderson inside the arc will pull the trigger and hit. It's a 2 for Yahya Anderson. Mike Jones calls a timeout, and he'll have 2 left after this with 1:08 to go.
I'll tell you what, though, the clock favors Liberty as we take another look at Anderson. He's been very efficient tonight. 7 out of 12, 15 points. Yahya has shown his versatility. When you talk to Coach Mike Jones, he was very high on Yahya. He said he has a great basketball IQ and is really a complete player, and Yahya has shown that here tonight.
He came into the starting lineup in the Presbyterian game back on January 10th, and ever since then, Radford has been flowing. As we take a look at the conference standings here presented by Visit Myrtle Beach. You see Radford with a win tonight can lock up a top 5 seed in the conference tournament next week. Liberty could still catch Campbell here. The Flames need to win tonight and on Saturday, and the Camels have to lose their last 2 games for the door to be open. Still some tiebreaker scenarios that could be worked out there as well.
And when you look at the standings, that shows how big of a win, how huge this victory would be for momentum's sake and for confidence sake for Liberty as they head into that Big South tournament next week.
Reddick with a baseball pass down the floor. Theo Johnson gets fouled under the basket. And Reddick said, to heck with breaking this pressure, let's just throw it up.
That was a great pass by Joe Reddick, the defender face guarding Theo. So when Theo ran out, the defender never saw the ball. Let's take another look at it. Reddick with the great pass. That was Yaya face guarding Theo. And guess what? Theo going back to the line.
Haven't seen that tonight. Wow. 73-69 as Johnson makes the first. He did the Calvin Johnson thing right there.
Matt Stafford to Calvin Johnson. Not a bad combination.
That one counted. Second attempt. It rattles through. Let's take another look at it. Theo Johnson.
He's fired up. Yeah. He's into it, and for good reason. Yaya.
Anderson with a 3. It won't go. Loose ball in the corner. It's going back to Liberty.
And how about this? 5-point game, under a minute to play. The clock is Liberty's friend at this point.
Can the Flames close this thing out? Looking for their second conference victory. Reddick brings it up the floor. Harassed by Javonte Green, gets it across the timeline. And finally a foul call. That's going to be on Javonte Green.
What a great job by Reddick breaking the press, though. That's something that Radford does, the full court press. You know, when Reddick was out with a foot injury, Liberty may have struggled trying to break the press, but that's what he brings to the table, a calming presence, a point guard, a floor general that can break the press and take care of the basketball.
44 ticks left, Reddick at the line. First one rattles through. Liberty leads by 6 now. Reddick 2 of 3 on the line tonight. They get 3 of 4. 7-point game. Flames just need to play smart here defensively. Price launches a 3. It won't go. Green had it deflect off of him. Liberty Flames basketball.
And I think Flames fans can feel this one, Nick. A lot of fans on their feet. Liberty up by 7, 35.3 to play. I think the fans can smell a victory.
They're sniffing around over there. Here's Dimbley. And he almost threw it away. Reddick able to run it down, though. Ando. And the clock ticking down here for the Flames. Green has to foul. Liberty by 7 over Radford with 22.8 ticks left.
What a game, what a game, what a game by the Flames. So many lead changes. 7 lead changes in the game. So many swings and momentum. So many runs. The Flames led by 13 in the first half. 2-point lead at the break. Radford came out strong, courtesy of R.J. Price, but every time Liberty continued to battle and battle and battle, they have been fantastic here tonight.
And to your point as well earlier here, as we get a timeout taken by Radford, Mike Jones with 1 left after this. But to your point earlier, every time Radford would hit a big shot, Liberty had an answer on the other end. You'd see Anderson knock down, or Price knock down a shot earlier when he was hot to start the second half. Flames came back, they would get something from Theo Johnson, something on the other end to answer and tie the game back up.
And simply put, Liberty has made shots tonight. That's the point that Hildebrand made at the half. You have to make shots. Liberty has struggled in that area at points this season, but tonight Liberty shooting 50% from the field, 24 out of 48. And then when you look at the box score, when was the last time that Liberty had 2 guys with 20 or more points?
It's been a while.
But I think a big reason that Liberty has shot 50% from the field has been their aggressiveness attacking the rim.
Second 20-point game this season for Andrew Smith. First for Theo Johnson. Reddick, second free throw will go. Flames by 9. Highlanders running out of time here. Need to get something going. Green will take it to the rim. He missed the layup. Liberty with a rebound and a foul on Javonte Green. And this one is pretty much academic at this point. Ando to the free throw line as the Flames will put the finishing touches on their second conference victory of the 2015 season. And you know, Ando takes this first one. A couple of years ago when the Flames won the conference tournament, despite a 20-loss year, it was a game against Radford at the end of the season that springboarded that run to the conference tournament. There's still a game to go against UNC Asheville here. But what irony it would be as Ando knocks down the second one.
When we talked to the team yesterday, they said they felt like they hadn't played their best ball. They felt like that was still ahead, and they played some great ball here tonight.
Carruthers rips down the rebound. Shot won't go. The clock hits 0, and the Liberty Flames have knocked off the Radford Highlanders here tonight. The 3-game skid put to bed. Liberty wins it 80-60.